two together, and you said, you need two different websites. These are two completely different things. And at that point, I think I stopped breathing, because I thought, oh my God, she's about to go where I've known I need to be forever. I mean, you know how you just know things in your gut, but you don't know how to do it, or you're afraid to make the change.
True. Yeah.
So that's what I realized in that phone call with you, was I was afraid to make the change. I was afraid to leave what I know I am good at and I can do without thinking about it, to go off into this whole ministry side of things, which I have not called a ministry until probably 8 months ago. Let's just be clear. A whole another fear. Okay, that's a whole another fear. But I was afraid to embrace the whole faith to conquer fear side of it, because I didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah,
And you helped me with that. So when you think about, you asked me what was my biggest fear, that was one of my biggest. But when you freed me first, per se, I changed everything. I changed my website. Everything looks different now than what you saw when you and I had that conversation almost 2 years ago now.
And you've really progressed a great deal since then.
Yeah. Yep.
So what kind of projects are you working on now, Christy?
Oh my goodness. So right now I do have another book in the works, but I haven't been spending any time on it lately. I'm probably, 10 pages from being done, but you know how as an author you know when it's done, and it's not done yet. So it's just kind of sitting there for the moment. I'm working on my 4th annual Faith to Conquer Fear conference, and I'm taking a huge leap. The first 3 years, which was another big act of faith for me, just creating the conference in and of itself. We'll save that for another show. But for the first 3 years, I've held the conference in the Ohio, Kentucky area, which is where I live. But I've always had a vision for being able to host this conference in multiple locations a year. And so this June will be my first time launching outside of my little comfort zone area, and I'm hosting it in Greensboro, North Carolina. So June the 25th is my 4th annual Faith to Conquer Fear conference, and that will be the start of holding it in multiple locations throughout the country in future years. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Wow, that is fabulous. That's
wonderful. I'm very excited.
Wow. So, where, first of all, can people find your book?
So 2 ways. You can go to www.faithtoconquerfear.com, and you can actually get a free download of a chapter and order the book there. Or you could just go to my website. My website is www.empoweredspeaker.com, and on that website you'll have access to my blog. You'll be able to listen to past radio shows. You'll see videos of me on prior radio shows and my speaker highlights, and you can order the book there and do all kinds of things on that website as well.
So, where do you see yourself, Christy, in 2 to 3 years?
That's an excellent question, and I have no idea. And if you know me, you know that is a big statement for me to say I have no idea, because I am a planner. But what I have figured out is that the more I kind of surrender to follow where God is leading me, the less control I have. So I'm going to continue to focus on just moving when he says move and do what he says do, and we will see where we land.
Wow, that's fantastic. So what advice do you have for people who are in your predicament? And what kind of, this is another question. A lot of people equate being faithful and leading a faithful life as not making money, or money is evil. What do you say to people like that?
The Bible never said that ministry required you to be poor.
But they think it does. They think it does.
Well, that's an inaccurate thought, and I would encourage them to read their word a little bit more. And what the Bible does say is that there will always be poor among us, right? But it did not say that you have to be the poor one. And I fully believe that your gifts will make room for you. That's what the word says. Your gifts will make room for you. And God wants us to prosper. There are so many scriptures. If you just pull up prosper, Google prosper, scriptures on prospering, and God desires that we prosper, not only in our health, but in finances. He gives us biblical principles around money. So if he wanted us to be poor, why would he tell us the benefits that come with tithing? Why would he tell us the benefits that come with giving to the poor? Why would he tell us all these things if there was no value, no financial or inherent benefits to doing that?
Well, I agree with you, but it's just so funny because people just seem to think money is evil, therefore people are evil who have it, and it doesn't equate with uh, being a faithful person. But
No, I don't believe that's true at all.
so, how, other than what we've talked about, do you share your message of conquering fear?
Yeah. So a number of ways. I have my Faith to Conquer Fear radio show, and that's every other Tuesday. And I'm about to change that format a little bit. I've always had guests before. I've been doing the radio show, either version of conference call / radio show, for about 3 years now, maybe a little bit over 3 years. And I'm about to take another leap of faith, sharing it with you for the first time, to transition that more from guest to me doing, call it a little mini 15-minute Bible study, probably around the role of fear. So each week will be a different component of fear and how we address that. So that's going to be a new thing I'm going to try for about 12 weeks. We'll see how that goes. We'll see what the response is to that. So the radio show is certainly one way. The conference is yet another way. I also do my blogs. I'm having the opportunity to speak a number of times over the next, call it 3 weeks or so. I'm doing my first TED Talk, April the 14th, so this will be a great opportunity for me to blend. The topic is decoding deception. And so I'm going to blend the Bible and corporate America.
Oh,
I'm going to talk
wow,
about
that'll
the
be
story.
interesting.
I know. It's talking about the story of Jacob and Esau and the deception there, and then tying that back to some key areas within corporate America that we often see deception, but we probably do not think of it that way. So because we've just kind of been accustomed to the process. So we're going to do that. That's coming up. I'm having an opportunity to speak to an organization here in Cincinnati for women, women leaders. I'm going to talk to them about being confident. And then I'm speaking in another few weeks to another group of women about success under pressure. So I'm just every opportunity I get, I'm just just kind of sharing what I have and bringing in my ministry where I can.
That's fabulous. Well, now, if people want to get a hold of you, Christy, or find out what you're all about, where, because I know you've got a couple of websites and a couple of Facebook pages, where would you really like them to go?
The best way to find out everything I'm doing is really on my website, and that again is www.empoweredspeaker.com. But I do post a lot of activity on both of my Facebook pages. I have my personal Facebook page, so you can just pull up my name, and that's there. I have the Faith to Conquer Fear page, as well as the Empowered Speaker page. I'm also on Twitter. I don't spend as much time there, but that's where the majority of my information is.
All right, so we better give them the spelling of your last name. First of all, Christy is Christy, Christy,
Mm-hmm.
and then her last name is Demetrakis. And pronounce it again, Christy?
Demetrakis.
Demetrakis. So look for either empoweredspeaker.com. You can go to Twitter and see Demetrakis, or you can go to her two Facebook pages, which is Faith to Conquer Fear book or The Empowered Speaker. Well, I'll tell you something. It's been a delight, Christy, and I thank you for being with us today. And it's nice to see someone who can do business well and personal well. That's very important, and it's important that you know when you go home at night that you've done the best you can for everybody that's around you, whether it's at work or whether it's play or whether it's in your personal life or however it is. So I really congratulate you for everything that you're doing and continuing on, and you have been a terrific guest today. So thanks so much for being with us, and continued success in the future.
Thank you so much for having me.